Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 21st of May 2024. Now the price of Bitcoin on the global cryptocurrency market is definitely heading towards the moon, and right now the price of Bitcoin, guys, is at $69,594. Now I wouldn't be surprised by the time you're listening to the episode, the price of Bitcoin has crossed the $70,000 mark, or maybe it has reached a new all-time high as well. Now so far as the fear and greed index is concerned, surprisingly guys, it is right now at neutral. Now yesterday guys it was at greed, but right now the fear and greed index for some odd reason is showing up as neutral. Now whenever the fear and greed index shows up as neutral guys, which means that there is a very high possibility that more funds may be getting into the cryptocurrency market, isn't it? Those are my honest thoughts. Now in today's episode guys, I'm going to be discussing a really interesting news and kind of an unfortunate news as well. Now what has happened is that someone accidentally went ahead and said 90% of their funds into Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet, and that was to do with the very first transaction that he did. Now it looks like this was an error by an individual, and he actually transferred 0.10745671 Bitcoin, which is valued at roughly around $7,211. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this. Now this guys is the power of one of the pillars of open blockchain that is publicly verifiable, isn't it? So critical guys that we truly understand the pillars of open blockchain, but one of the drawback about this guys is, unfortunately, these funds can't be retracted, and this is one of the dangers of using cryptocurrency, isn't it? But let's say guys, in the Web 2 world, in the banking world, or even in the CBDC world, these transactions could be retracted. You could say that it was a human error, isn't it? So these are factors you need to take into consideration when you're using, let's say, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Now, if any cryptocurrency guys is able to go ahead and retract these transactions, essentially they can go ahead and do double spending, isn't it? So when you talk about central bank digital currency or even the finance world guys, double spending is possible. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news regarding Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. Now guys, ever since Bitcoin Spot ETF got approved, Grayscale has been in the negative news, isn't it? And there is an update to that. The CEO, that is Michael Satoshi, he has gone ahead and resigned. So we'll definitely go ahead and briefly touch base on this news guys. Now the timing for this is extremely bizarre, because roughly around a few weeks ago they went ahead and withdrew the Ethereum futures ETF, isn't it? So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news guys. And there's a new person who's going to be appointed as the CEO. Now in the world of beyond blockchain technology guys, Hedera Hashgraph has been making quite a lot of news, isn't it? And there's a really interesting news so far as investment is concerned. And the Hedera Hashgraph Association guys looks like they're making some serious move in the Middle East. And they have secured $50 million deal with Qatar, which as we know is one of the wealthiest nations, isn't it? So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news, because this partnership guys will establish a digital asset venture studio. So we'll definitely go and have a look at that. Now in the world of international transaction guys, you should know by now that US dollar is not being used, isn't it? And there is something called as BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and also the United Arab Emirates. And there's some interesting development guys. Looks like Russia and Iran, they are planning to settle on some type of currency, and there will be a single currency that will be used in the BRICS system. Now what is really important to understand guys is once this thing gets implemented, they will not be using the United States dollar, and this is something we need to think about. Now guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, we're going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is to do with Cardano blockchain, and Sorbet guys, they have secured strategic investment from Metaverse, and Sorbet is more connected to Saudi Arabia. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. Now in the world of artificial intelligence guys, United Arab Emirates has definitely been making quite a lot of news, isn't it? And roughly around 3 weeks ago guys, I did talk about this news regarding Sheikh Hamdan. He was actually calling for a blueprint for artificial intelligence. Now keeping that thing in mind, Sheikh Hamdan has inaugurated Dubai AI campus, as the city is now eyeing a $27 billion digital economy boost. So I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding this news guys. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kick start with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 Ps. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Grayscale Podcast. So check out the Grayscale Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Grayscale Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, guys, the numbers are definitely looking good, and the global cryptocurrency market as of now is at $2.47 trillion. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 2.53%, and if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, to date is at $64.48 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 44.40%. Now, if you look at the volume in DeFi, guys, unfortunately, it is not looking good at all. It is at only $6.17 billion, and DeFi as of today is accounting for less than 9% of the total cryptocurrency market volume. As a matter of fact, guys, it is accounting for only 8.99% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, the total value locked, guys, is at $94.81 billion, with Lido still dominating at $29.22 billion. And so far as decentralized exchange dominance is concerned, guys, it is down to 16.24%. Now mind you guys, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance is relatively consistent all throughout the days, because what used to happen in 2023 and the first few months of 2024, only on few days, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance used to pick up pace, and sometimes guys that used to happen either on a Wednesday or Thursdays or on Saturdays and Sundays. But ever since Ethereum had the Duncan upgrade, looks like decentralized to centralized exchange is relatively consistent all throughout the days. Now only since the last 3 weeks guys, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance is consistent, but the percentage is relatively less. This just means that since the last 3 weeks, a lot of centralized exchanges are being used in order to, let's say, go ahead and buy and sell a lot of cryptocurrency, isn't it? And the answer to that is pretty simple, guys. The United Securities and Exchange Commission, they are aggressively going after decentralized exchanges, isn't it? Now, so far as the volume of decentralized exchange is concerned, Uniswap's volume is pretty much the same as yesterday. Today it is at $1.09 billion. PancakeSwap, guys, volume is pumped up since the last 24 hours. Today it is at $539.36 million. Orca is at number 3rd, and its volume is $284.72 million. Dodo Gas is at number 4th, and its volume is $274.98 million. And finally, Core Finance, its volume is $201.01 million. Now let me very quickly run through the volume of stablecoins, guys, because right now it is at $63.83 billion, and stablecoins as of today is accounting for 90.27% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now look guys, just in a matter of 48 hours, the United Securities and Exchange Commission will actually release an information regarding spot Ethereum ETF, and once we find out if an Ethereum spot ETF is approved or not, I'm pretty much sure the volume of stable coins, irrespective of the decision, will be going up. I definitely have this feeling that an Ethereum spot ETF may not be approved, so let's wait and see guys, but definitely keep a track on the 24-hour volume of stable coins and also look at the volume of decentralized exchanges. Now so far stablecoins is concerned, Tether USDT's volume is $52.03 billion, and Circle USDC is at $6.03 billion, and finally FDUSD, its volume is $4.70 billion. Now let me very quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now Bitcoin's dominance is definitely on an incline. Today it is at 54.70%, whereas Ethereum's dominance for some bizarre reason is actually not looking good. It is down to 15.30%. Now look guys, irrespective of the decision, even the dominance of Ethereum will be pumping up, because people will be, let's say, buying and selling a lot of Ethereum, isn't it? And because of that, I'm pretty much sure the total value locked, which as of today is at $94.81 billion, will actually go down to maybe $80 billion, maybe even $70 billion in my opinion. Now so far as the 24-hour trading volume is concerned guys, since the last 24 hours, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $28.17 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $12.57 billion. Now if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin, it is at $1.34 trillion, whereas Ethereum's market cap is at $378 billion. Now look guys, these numbers will drastically change in just a matter of 48 hours, so definitely be prepared for what news the SEC is going to say regarding an Ethereum spot ETF. Now this week guys, what I'm doing is, I'm just going to be looking at the top 3 gainers and the top 3 losers since the last 24 hours. And yesterday guys, Chainlink was in the top 3 gainers in it. Unfortunately, today it is in the top 3 losers, and Chainlink has been down by 3.32%. The second token is Core. It is down by 0.48%. And surprisingly guys, at number 3rd is the Privacy King protocol. That is Monero, and it is down by 0.42%. Now the top 3 gainers though is Pith. It's up by 19.02%. Pendle guys is at number 2nd, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 18.80%. And Beam guys is at number 3rd, and it is up by 16.90%. Now look guys, truth be told, I wouldn't be surprised that these numbers will drastically change in just a matter of 24 hours in my opinion. Now if you're someone who's into trading, you may want to look at some of the technological aspects as to why these have actually gone down, or you may want to look at fancy graphs as well. Now this week guys, what I'm doing is, I'm breaking down some basic level information regarding oracles, and in the episode that I released yesterday, I went ahead and gave across some information regarding oracles, isn't it? Now in today's episode guys, I want to go ahead and expand some more information regarding oracles. So let me do one thing guys, let me go ahead and expand this more in detail, and I want to talk about in the context of blockchain technology. Implementing oracles does introduce several challenges, isn't it? And that could be, let's say, data reliability, security, and scalability. And since Oracle involves interacting with external systems, there is always a risk of inaccurate or manipulated data in it that is actually directly or indirectly fed into the blockchain, and that can actually compromise the integrity of smart contracts and also decentralized applications. And as a result, guys, designing robust Oracle solutions is extremely crucial for successful integration of blockchain technology with real-world application, isn't it? So what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and touch base on 6 core areas. So the first one I'd like to talk about is, let's say, data reliability. Then the second area I'd like to talk about security. The third one, guys, is scalability. The fourth one is data privacy. The fifth one is cost efficiency. And finally, guys, I'd like to talk about cross-chain compatibility. Now look, guys, so far as data reliability is concerned, Oracle needs to ensure that the data fetched from external sources is absolutely authentic, has not been tampered with, and this can only be achieved through techniques such as cryptographic signatures, which provide proof of data origin and integrity, isn't it? And distributed or decentralized Oracle networks often aggregate data from multiple independent sources and use consensus mechanism to verify the accuracy of the aggregated data, and this helps mitigate the risk of individual Oracle nodes providing faulty or manipulated data. Now, so far as quality assurance is concerned, guys, Oracles may implement reputation systems or stake-based mechanism to incentivize honest behaviors and penalize malicious oracles. Additionally, guys, periodic audits and also verifications can be conducted to ensure the quality and reliability of Oracle data. Now look, guys, if you're someone who's really active on Twitter, I'm pretty much sure even Twitter has something similar to that, isn't it? I believe they're called as community notes, if I'm not mistaken. Now, community notes kind of work something similar, but the contributors, I believe, guys, can add context such as fact checks under a post, image, or even video. But look, guys, so far as fact checking is concerned in the centralized world, most of the fact checking done in the centralized world is done by mainstream media, and most often than not, that is absolutely centralized. And the fact checking that happens, let's say, on Facebook, Instagram, or even Twitter previously was absolutely load of crap, in my opinion. Now, so far as Oracles is concerned, guys, let me go ahead and talk about security, because Oracle should secure communication protocols and encryption techniques to transmit data between external sources on the blockchain securely. This prevents data interception and manipulating during transit. Now let me go ahead and talk about attacks, guys, because when you talk about decentralized or distributed Oracle networks, they are designed to be resilient to various types of attacks, including Sybil attacks, data manipulation attacks, and denial of service attacks, isn't it? Barring, let's say, Solana blockchain, because they have definitely faced quite a lot of DDoS attacks. But look, guys, so far as decentralized or distributed oracles are concerned, consensus mechanism, cryptographic primitives, and redundancy in data fetching help mitigate this risk. But so far smart contract security is concerned, oracles must be integrated into smart contracts in a secure manner to prevent vulnerabilities such as re-entry attacks or unauthorized access to sensitive contract functions. And also, guys, auditing smart contract and following best practices in contract development can also enhance security, isn't it? Now, so far as the third point is concerned, that is scalability, guys. In order to improve scalability, some oracles offload certain computational tasks such as data aggregation or verification off-chain. Now, off-chain computation allows for faster processing and reduces the burden on the entire main blockchain, isn't it? Now, so far as distributed or decentralized oracle is concerned, networks can utilize parallel processing and sharding techniques to distribute data processing tasks across multiple nodes, thereby increasing throughput and scalability. Now, so far as layer 2 scaling solutions are concerned, guys, they can also be implemented, and things such as state channels and side chains can be leveraged to handle large volume of Oracle transactions off-chain while setting final outcomes on the main blockchain. And this process, guys, reduces congestions and latency on the main blockchain. Now, so far as the fourth point is concerned, that is data privacy. Sensitive data transmitted through oracles can be encrypted using cryptographic techniques to protect user privacy, and only authorized parties with appropriate decryption keys can go ahead and access the encrypted data, isn't it? And so far zero knowledge proof is concerned, guys, zero knowledge proof allows for parties to provide the validity of a statement without actually revealing any underlying information, and oracles can actually use zero knowledge proofs to verify the correctness of data without disclosing the actual data values. And oracles, guys, can minimize the amount of sensitive data stored on chain by only revealing essential information required for smart contract execution, and this, guys, reduces the risk of data exposure and enhances privacy. Now, so far as the fifth point is concerned, that is cost efficiency. Oracle protocols can optimize gas consumption by batch processing data requests, aggregating data, and minimizing on-chain transactions, and gas-efficient designs help reduce transaction fees associated with Oracle usage, and economic models guys within decentralized Oracle networks can incentivize efficient behavior and discourage wasteful resource utilization. For example, guys, let's say Oracle nodes may be rewarded for providing accurate data while being penalized for providing inaccurate or delayed data, isn't it? And Oracle protocols can implement dynamic fee mechanism that adjust transaction fees based on network congestion and demand, and this ensures that users pay fair and competitive fees for Oracle services. Now, regarding the last point, guys, that is cross-chain compatibility, Oracles can adhere to interoperable standards such as cross-chain communication protocols and token standards such as ERC20 to facilitate seamless data exchange between different blockchain networks, and cross-chain atomic swaps enable trustless and asset transfers between different blockchains without the need for intermediaries, and Oracles guys can actually facilitate atomic swaps by providing price fees and other relevant data required for cross-chain transactions, and Bridge Protocol guys acts as connectors between disparate blockchain networks, allowing assets and data to be transferred securely across chains, isn't it? So Oracles can integrate with Bridge Protocols to enable cross-chain interoperability for decentralized applications. So look guys, these are some basic level information regarding Oracles. Let me know guys if you're someone who's actually working in this space. I would definitely like to know more information regarding this, because look guys, when you talk about Oracles, they definitely are a key element in the so-called Web3 and blockchain space, isn't it? Now in tomorrow's episode guys, I'll try to give out some more technical information regarding Oracles, and I'll try to cater it more from a distributed or decentralized point of view. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now the price of Bitcoin guys right now is $69,594, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 5.04%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 10.38%. Now I'm pretty much sure guys, by the time you listen to the episode, there is a very high possibility that the price of Bitcoin would have crossed the $70,000 mark, and who's to say guys, it might have crossed a new all-time high as well. Now so far as the price of Ethereum is concerned, it is at a staggering $3,448. Now look guys, me personally, I'm expecting to see quite a lot of volume, at least in the next 48 hours, and that is because of Ethereum spot ETF news, isn't it? Now since the last 24 hours guys, the price of Ethereum is up by 12.04%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 16.83%. Binance BNB Coin guys, it is well below the $600 mark. Today it is at $587. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.12%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 1.31%. Now look guys, so far as Bitcoin is concerned, there is a really interesting news that is out, and Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet now holds over 100 Bitcoin after receiving a transfer of 0.1075467 Bitcoin, which was valued at $7,211. Now you need to understand guys, this was an error by an individual. Now because of this brings the estimated value of the wallet, which has remained untouched, to approximately $6.75 million. Now what happened guys, on the 17th of May, at block height number 843,872, an individual mistakenly sent 0.1075467 Bitcoin, and he accidentally sent it to Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. Now Outcome Intelligence guys, they went in and identified this error, and they were the first to detect this erroneous transaction, and what they actually mentioned via Twitter is that someone accidentally sent 90% of the Bitcoin holding to Satoshi Nakamoto last night. Now the only reason guys why they were able to identify this is all the transactions on Bitcoin blockchain is publicly verifiable for absolutely anyone, isn't it? And this is one of the beauties of Bitcoin blockchain and also of open blockchain. Now what they mentioned in that tweet, that they were attempting to sacrifice a non-null pub token, but accidentally sent almost all of the entire Bitcoin wallet instead, around 7,000 in Bitcoin. This is a classic unfortunate error, isn't it? Now look guys, imagine having this error, let's say in the central bank digital currency world, or even in the Web2 world or in the finance world. No one can actually know this thing, isn't it? Now look, this is one of the features of publicly verifiable, which is one of the pillars of open blockchain. But listen guys, there is also a drawback to this. In case of such errors, the funds cannot be retracted, isn't it? The funds are completely gone. But let's say in the world of central bank digital currency, or in the finance world or the banking world, you can go to the bank, pick up your phone, call the customer service, and tell them that this was a genuine error, and there is a very high chance that they could actually go and retract these funds, and the same thing can actually happen on central bank digital currency as well. Now look guys, when you talk about CBDCs and when you talk about banking infrastructure, these are things that an average individual who's not so comfortable with technology can go out and use, isn't it? But when you talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, These are kind of technical concepts, and look guys, this guy's clearly made an error, and you can also go to his wallet and check how much of Bitcoin does he actually hold, and unfortunately for him, it was 90% of his Bitcoin holdings. Now look guys, the amount might actually look less at $7,211, but let's say if this person was from, let's say, Kenya or even India or Bangladesh, this $7,211 might be his yearly earnings, isn't it? So you need to understand some of the drawbacks of Bitcoin and open blockchain as well. And there is nothing called as chargebacks, and once the transactions are done, there is absolutely no way to go ahead and retract it. The retracting procedure is called as double spending, and that is exactly what Satoshi Nakamoto solved, isn't it? And that is one of the reasons, guys, when you're looking at assessing any project or protocol, you should truly understand in the Web 3.0 space, that particular project or protocol cannot go and do double spending. Now, there are definite drawbacks to that, but that is one of the beauties of using Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and open blockchain, in my opinion. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Grayscale investments. And Grayscale CEO, that is Michael Sonnison, he has actually stepped down, and Peter Mintzberg, guys, will be the one who will be succeeding him starting 15th of August. Now, this news causes via the SEC filings. Now, Michael Sonnison, guys, did actually mention via Twitter. Now, he did actually thank Barry Silbert, guys, who is right now the CEO of Digital Currency Group, because looks like he was the one who went ahead and hired him. Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, Grayscale is known for having the largest Bitcoin ETF with $19.37 billion in assets, but recently they've been facing quite a lot of challenges, isn't it, including significant withdrawal after converting the GBTC into Bitcoin ETF in January, and they also went ahead and abandoned the Ethereum futures ETF as well, and I did actually cover this news, and even the ETF analyst from Bloomberg was completely baffled by this news. Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, the new CEO will be Peter Mintzberg. Now, he was a former global head of strategy at Goldman Sachs Assets and Wealth Management, and looks like he's bringing extensive experience from his previous role at BlackRock and Oppenheimer funds, and he also holds a degree from Harvard and Stanford University. Now, look, guys, regarding the withdrawal of Ethereum futures ETF, it is kind of a mystery as to why they went ahead and did that, isn't it? And the CEO now resigning does raise some questions, in my opinion. Let me know, guys, if you know some inside drama, because look out, when you talk about Barry Silbert, he's kind of like a notorious person, in my opinion. And Barry Silbert, guys, was the one who actually went ahead and founded Grayscale Investments as well, isn't it? And Barry Silbert, guys, is kind of like the crypto world's new villain, and he's accused of defrauding thousands of people. Now, if you actually go and check his history, guys, he has a really strong experience in the bankruptcy space. Now, could it be possible that he has used some of the legal proceedings and learnings from the bankruptcy industry and then implemented that in Digital Currency Group and Grayscale Investment? Looks like that is the case, isn't it? So only time will tell if we find out the new villain in the cryptocurrency space who's overtaken the role of Sam Bankman-Fried. If that thing happens, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Barry Silbert. Now, guys, let's discuss some interesting news from the Middle East, and that is to do with Qatar. And the Hashgraph Association, guys, has secured a $50 million deal with Qatar, which, as we know, is one of the world's wealthiest nations, isn't it? Now, this partnership, guys, will establish a digital asset venture studio, and it is aimed at rapidly advancing research and development in the digital financial sector. And the venture studio, guys, will last for 4 years and will complete the initiative by 2028. And their role is to empower local businesses in Qatar. Now, here's the interesting bit, guys, for startups. The Hashgraph Association contributes 20% of the $50 million fund, providing local startups and businesses with tutoring, engineering, finance, and development services. Now, if you do need more information, guys, it is published via Crowdfund Insider, and it is in the show notes below. Now, guys, let's discuss some really interesting news, and that is to do with Russia and Iran in the world of BRICS. Now, the news essentially, guys, is that Russia and Iran, they are collaborating on creating a single BRICS currency with over 60% of the trade already in rubles and reals, and they are moving away from the US dollar, isn't it? Now, this news, guys, was actually discussed at the Russia Islamic World Kazan Forum 2024, and the BRICS bloc, guys, which was recently expanded, is increasingly using national currencies. Now, critics warn that these moves could undermine the US dollar's global dominance. Now, look, guys, so far as BRICS currency is concerned, they definitely don't want to go ahead and use the US dollar, isn't it? And with the left-leaning regime of Joe Biden, how will the United States of America react to this news? Or have they already gone ahead and reacted to this news? Because so far as Russia Islamic World Kazan Forum 2024 is concerned, it did actually conclude on the 19th of this month. They definitely pose a very strong threat not just for the United States dollar, but also for the transaction taking place internationally, isn't it? And as I mentioned earlier, guys, BRICS is an international government organization that comprises Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and United Arab Emirates, and them switching on to a currency not controlled by the US dollar is an absolutely massive deal. So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this. Now, these are some macro level news, guys, on the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And the first news, guys, is all the way from Saudi Arabia. And Sorbet, guys, they have secured strategic investment from AWS, which is connected to Cardano blockchain, isn't it? And AWS, guys, have announced strategic investment in Sorbet, which is a Web3 platform, and part of the $10 million initiative, guys, will be used to foster venture building in the MENA region. And MENA region's GDP is expected to grow by 2.7% in 2024 alone, and digital freelance market in the MENA region is now valued at $4 billion. An inefficient payment system, guys, affect around 40 million self-employed workers. Now, Sorbet's vision is to onboard all creative onto Web3 by removing technical barriers of decentralized apps. And Sorbet, guys, uses blockchain to provide seamless payment solutions with stable coins, and they enhance accessibility to decentralized finance gateway for the unbanked. And Rami Jabari, the co-founder of Sorbet, highlights the partnership's role in accelerating development and market strategy. And the collaboration, guys, aims to break down financial barriers and enable growth opportunities for professionals. And Sorbet, guys, eliminates freelancer fees and intermediaries, ensuring direct and fair exchanges. And the upcoming Sorbet beta will integrate project management tools and streamline payment processes as well. And Vincent Lee from AWS, guys, who is the founding partner, has emphasized blockchain's potential to enhance economic systems. Now, this investment, guys, supports Saudi's vision of 2030 by fostering a thriving digital economy. And Sorbet continues to Saudi Arabia's economic diversification and social development goals as well. And AWS mission, guys, is to nurture early-stage startups in the MENA region, focusing on blockchain technology. And AWS, guys, now has supported over 54 startups in integrating blockchain into regional economies. And AWS is part of Cardano investment vehicle, being the first Web3 blockchain fund in Saudi Arabia. So definitely positive news, I guess. Now, guys, let's discuss another news, and that is to do with artificial intelligence in Dubai. And Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum has inaugurated Dubai AI Campus at the IFC Innovation Hub. And the Dubai AI Campus, guys, is expected to play a key role in cities' digital transformation. And the AI Hub aims to attract 500 companies and create over 3,000 jobs by 2028. And this is part of Phase 1 of the annual Dubai Universal Blueprint for Artificial Intelligence. And the initiative, guys, aims to accelerate AI adoption across all sectors, creating an optimal ecosystem for AI business and talents. And Sheikh Hamdan emphasized Dubai's strategic plans to accelerate AI adoption in line with Sheikh Mohammed bin's vision. And Dubai, guys, aims to establish itself as a global hub for digital economy and a preferred destination for major AI business and talent. And the Dubai AI Campus is a key step towards doubling economic growth and increasing AI contribution to Dubai and the UAE's GDP. Now, this campus, guys, will host hundreds of businesses and offer thousands of jobs, enhancing Dubai's status as a technical hub. And the initiative aligns with the goals of Dubai Economic Agenda, that is D33, aiming for sustainable economic growth based on knowledge and innovation. And Dubai AI Campus, guys, is the largest dedicated cluster of AI and advanced tech in the MENA region, and it is expected to generate an average of 100 billion dirhams, which is roughly around $27.2 billion annually for Dubai's economy through digital transformation. So look, guys, this is definitely critical news. And AI, guys, is projected to contribute $230 billion to the Middle East economy by 2030 and 14% of the UAE's GDP. And the inaugural ceremony, guys, was attended by key officials, including Omar bin Sultan Al Ulama, Isa Qasim, and Arif Amiri. And Phase 1 of the campus is complete with over 75 businesses registered on a 10,000 square feet space. Now, Phase 2, guys, will extend over 100 square feet, attracting over 500 companies and creating over 3,000 jobs by 2028. And the campus will foster multinational tech partnership with leading companies like Amazon Web Services, HP, Microsoft, Oracle, and even Nvidia. The Dubai AI and Web3 Festival, guys, is scheduled to be held between the 11th and 12th of September 2024, and it will highlight Dubai's commitment to promote future technology. So definitely positive news. So look, guys, news such as this will definitely make Dubai and Abu Dhabi the leading cities in the world so far as artificial intelligence is concerned, isn't it? So definitely positive news in my opinion. And that's about all, guys, on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and AI world. From Crypto and Coffee a Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, also please feel free to go and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, which is filled with loads of information regarding central bank digital currency, cryptocurrency, blockchain, and even artificial intelligence space. Now for the next few minutes, guys, it is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Sharon who asks, how do you think the creation of single BRICS currency by Russia and Iran will impact the global financial landscape? Now this, to be honest, is such an interesting question, Sharon. And what I really like is that your question about the potential impact of, let's say, single BRICS currency is something, to be honest, that has been on the minds of many in the cryptocurrency world as well, isn't it? So what I want to do is, share and think of a world where countries like Russia and Iran are actually collaborating to create a unified currency within the BRICS bloc. Now it is not just about money, isn't it? It is also about shaping the very foundation of global finance. Now it's going to be really interesting to see how the United States of America reacts to this, because look, we are talking about breaking away the stronghold of the US dollar, isn't it? So imagine a world where the BRICS nations have an alternative currency that is not US dollar, one that reduces their reliance on the dollar and gives them more control over their own economy destiny. But here's the scary thing, Sharon, it just does not stop there. This could also lift a shift in the global economic power dynamics as well. Now when you talk about BRICS, with countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, and now even with the UAE joining forces, we are looking at a potential challenger to the traditional Western economic order, isn't it? So of course it's not going to be smooth sailing. Now look, Sharon, implementing a new currency across such diverse economics comes with its own set of challenges. Now we are talking about managing economic disparities, navigating geopolitical tensions, which is at the highest at this moment, isn't it? Especially if you know what is going on between Israel and Iran. Now ensuring stability is definitely a complex system, but here's the thing, Sharon, the potential benefits definitely outweigh the risks if it is done rightly, and a single BRICS currency could streamline trade, bolster economic sovereignty, and foster strong ties among member nations. But the big question, guys, is where does Bitcoin and cryptocurrency fit into this? My answer to that is pretty simple. You can actually go ahead and use Bitcoin or maybe create a stablecoin which is working under Bitcoin blockchain, isn't it? That just solves all centralization issues in my opinion. But look, Sharon, we need to navigate this ever-changing financial landscape, so let's keep an eye on how the story unfolds. What I do feel is maybe they might come up with a central bank digital currency that works only with the nations that are part of BRICS. Now, in my opinion, that would not be right. Hopefully, they go ahead and create a stable coin that is not connected to the US dollar. Maybe it is connected to Bitcoin. That would be an absolute game changer. And all of the countries could actually win. So it's going to be really interesting to see if some of the Bitcoin OGs do actually come up with a solution. But the biggest threat is how the United States of America will react to this. Now look, knowing the notorious history of politicians, they would react to it indirectly, and you may not even realize that they may be attacking the BRICS countries. Those are my honest opinion, but only time will tell, I guess. But definitely a really interesting and challenging question. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything season Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, please feel free to go ahead and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, and now even in the artificial intelligence world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.